For technical details, scan here. Switch to DD India now.
नमस्कार, आप देख रहे हैं डीडी न्यूज। आपके साथ मैं हूं गौरव श्रीवास्तव। आइए आपको सीधे दिल्ली लिए चलते हैं, जहां पर डीजी बीएसएफ की एक कार्यक्रम चल रहा है। सीधे वहां का रुख करते हैं और तस्वीरें आपको दिखाते हैं।
We have the entire Tripura, about 858 kilometers of border, and then we have Mizoram also. We do not have any presence on the Myanmar border, but it does form a significant part of our intelligence get up, because people from Myanmar, whether it's refugees, Rohingyas, or at times weapons, arms and ammunition, do come across to the Indian or the Bangladeshi side. So these are the main states which are there, and Bangladesh has the biggest border. West Bengal has the biggest border of 2,200 kilometers. Most of the area, I would say, is fenced. About 10 to 12% is still not fenced, because there are some areas which cannot be fenced. The terrain is so intractable in places like Mizoram, Tripura, or even Bengal, or the emergence of charland. Charland is a very interesting term. Maybe you would have come across this. Whenever the water level rises during monsoons, the land gets covered with water, and whenever the water recedes, there is land available for people to cultivate. These are called charlands. So emergence of charlands is a very, very major feature wherever these rivers are there, which are in full spate during the monsoons. Most of the area, like I told you, is fenced. The government has also provided adequate lighting, border lights in these areas also, which does make the task slightly easy for us during border guarding. But the Bangladesh border is beset with its own set of issues. You see, if you talk of pre-47, ultimately it was a Greater Bengal. And when it was Greater Bengal, people in Greater Bengal had the same culture, same viewpoint, same eating habits, and almost same everything. And suddenly 47 came, and Mr. Radcliffe drove a line across India and east, so to say, East Pakistan, not going to the border areas. And because of that, a whole lot of problems came in. Half of the village at times was in India, half was in Bangladesh, half of the house at times in places was in India and Bangladesh. So that had its own set of problems. Now today, at any point of time, in normal times, non-COVID times, there are about 10,000 people who cross the Bangladesh border from Bangladesh to India or India to Bangladesh, all along the Bangladesh border, which is Bengal and Assam and Meghalaya and Tripura also. 10,000 people, and these are people with valid visas. Almost about 2,000 trucks pass on a daily basis, both ways. So the traffic is huge, and to be able to frisk each and every person or to see each and every truck that is passing through is a huge task. We try to do it on the basis of whatever intelligence that we get at different points of time, and and the number of seizures is, as far as customs are concerned, we seize the stuff and hand it over to the customs department. Some of the main issues on the Bangladesh border are illegal migration of people who come across, and last year we arrested almost over 3,000 people who were trying to come this way or that. But let us accept it. By and large, most of the people coming are not criminals or coming with a criminal intent. Either these people are coming for a job, better avenues, coming for medical treatment, or they are in India wanting to go back to their relatives in Bangladesh, meet their people, and come across. There are many a times we are booking cases, and there are many a times when it's either women and children and families. We try to ascertain their credentials through the border guards, Bangladesh, and then we hand it over to them in a dignified manner also. The main causes of smuggling, cattle smuggling was a very big issue, and because of the huge amount of cattle, which is of not much use, because it is diseased, because it is old, because it's infirm, and this cattle is not consumed in the Indian subcontinent. So it did find a way through mafias to Bangladesh. But by very strict patrolling. I can tell you figure has drastically come down from a figure of almost about 170,000 cattle that we caught about 2-3 years back. This year the figure is till the end of October is almost about 18,000 only. And we've had many kinds of things. We have had strict border patrolling. We have had surveillance devices put which can see in day and night. All kinds of devices are there, and patrolling ahead of the fence. As you would know, in the international norm, you cannot have a fence or a defense structure within 150 yards of the international border. So entire border of Bangladesh is non-disputed. So there's an international boundary, and we have a fence almost over 150 or maybe within 200 yards of that. As far as the fence is concerned, it's fairly good, lighted, and we have gates at different intervals. You must have heard some time back some politician in Bangladesh had raised the issue that people of BSF had been misbehaving with females who were crossing the border. Let me place it on record. We have about 7,500 lady BSF personnel, out of which about 139 are officers. And at each and every gate, we have women personnel deployed who will do the frisking of women only and nothing else. So I would not say, maybe one odd cases might come where my indisciplined people would have done this, and if at all such a case comes, we would come down in the heaviest manner possible on such a person. Indiscipline is not to be tolerated at all, at whatever cost. That I can assure you completely. Similarly, two other drugs, Yaba drugs. Yaba is a synthetic kind of narcotic drug which is mainly made in Myanmar and is smuggled across from Myanmar to India to Bangladesh. And Yaba does find its way, and we have been catching huge consignments of Yaba over time. For example, last year it was about 6 lakh tablets, and this year only 4 or 5 days back we have had a seizure of almost about 2.5 lakh tablets. So this is a cause for concern for not only us, because if it is finding its way to Bangladesh, some of it will be used in our country also. So drugs are a major issue. We try our best to do whatever possible we can under the NDPS provisions that have been given to BSF, and then hand it over to the NCB, Narcotics Control Bureau, or the Customs Department, or the State Police. Fentanyl is another syrup that finds its way to Bangladesh. You would know that liquor is banned in Bangladesh. So probably to get a high, people do prefer fentanyl. And we have been tying up with the border guards Bangladesh and try to clamp down as much as possible on the fentanyl part also. Whenever border guarding is concerned, there is always, infiltration, and people who are smugglers try to take liberty with the BSF personnel also. Yes, firing is done at times, and yes, we have a strict policy of non-lethal first. So non-lethal, we have a pump action gun which fires rubber bullets. We have stun grenades which creates a big noise, and we have chili grenades also, which produces kind of massive irritation. So we have all these kinds of things. We've been using them, and I can tell you, whether it's because of COVID or others, the use of non-lethal by and large the same, but the use of lethal weapon, when a person is confronted with, manhandled, or there is a chance of his snatching the weapon, that is when a lethal weapon is used and fired. That has gone down drastically. And there's very good cooperation between the BSF and the border guards Bangladesh, and they have regular meetings. In fact, only in the last 1 week, the IGs of all the 6 frontiers of ours and the compatriots in Bangladesh, they've had met in 2 different places. In Calcutta, 3 IGs have met, and in Shillong, the other 3 IGs have met. So in a very cordial atmosphere, and after that, papers are signed giving a general understanding between the 2 forces and whatever plan you have for the next coming 6 months. They meet every 6 months. And at the local commandant level, whenever there is an issue, they have been meeting, and there has been no major problem or any standoff, so to say. Uh, as far as the Pakistan border is concerned, we have about 2,300 kilometers of border with Pakistan, and part of it, about 700 kilometers, is the LC. LC is where we are deployed along with the army also. And there we are, BSF is under the operational control of army, which is, so to say, the disputed border, mainly in Kashmir and parts of Jammu, so J&K state only. And otherwise it's an international border coming down from Punjab to Rajasthan to Gujarat. Rajasthan has the biggest border of about 800 kilometers plus. Most of the fence, most of the border here also is well lit, and if you want to have an estimate of the cost that the government incurs in these lighting, it for the entire western border it comes to almost over 1.5 crores per month for the entire western border. This is done only at night, but it has provided a major, and in the recent times the government has even approved replacing of the normal sodium light that was there with the LED lights. And I've seen it for myself. The lighting gets doubled, the area also expands, also increases drastically, providing for much better visibility during night times also. Now this is a, so to say, a hard border. There is no scope for infiltration. That is, you have to bear with direst of consequences if you cross the border. And there is ceasefire, since the 24th of February. So as of now, the activity is much less. There is not much movement. But yes, as far as the Punjab and Jammu border is concerned, and you would have read regularly also, the drone flights are the cause for concern. The drone flights have been very regular. We have had at least 67 sightings this year itself, sightings. And I would say if there may be times when we have not sighted them also. So 67 sightings, by and large, these are coming down with drugs. We have seized many a times, and some of the major drugs that have come across are it's mainly heroin that's coming from there. So drones are of cause for concern. We have been able to shoot down twice drones, but it is a next to almost impossible task, trying to shoot down a flying bird in the sky and being able to aim that well. We are installing some anti-drone devices. We already have some, and it is working fairly okay. That is all I can tell you. But we'll be installing more in the time to come, because installing anti-drone devices for the entire 1700 kilometers may not be possible. But trying to defend our vital installations and our vital places, I think that these are places where we would like to install these anti-drone devices also. And by and large, the stuff that is coming from across, they have been tunnels, they have been digging tunnels, and you'll be surprised. Some of the tunnels are 30 feet deep below the ground, and these are at least 3 to 4 feet in height and at least 3 to 4 feet in width. So, and these are almost 100 meters, 110 meters below the fence line also. So we have been doing some kind of exercise and trying to find out where these tunnels are. It's not an easy task, I can assure you, but through the whatever kind of hints that we got earlier, that the places where they would, wherever they will have a post, somewhere near that the tunnel would be dug. Whenever any tunnel is dug, a lot of mud comes out. So we have to be always on the watch that and digging a 100-foot long tunnel, the amount of mud that is going to come out, that is going to come out at regular intervals. So we are trying to devise some means by which we can keep a watch on any area along the fence where this kind of mud accumulation, and mind you, this mud has to be taken away. They cannot make a mountain pile of the mud at the fence for everybody to see and for a very easy hint for anybody to conclusion to draw. So we are keeping a watch, and we have
तो बीएसएफ के निदेशक पंकज कुमार सिंह बीएसएफ दिवस के अवसर पर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे। उन्होंने तमाम ऐसी महत्वपूर्ण बातें रखी हैं जिनसे हम आपको रूबरू करा दें। उन्होंने साफ तौर पर कहा है कि बांग्लादेश सीमा पर कुछ समस्याएं आती हैं, ये कहना है बीएसएफ निदेशक का, क्योंकि जो सीमा है वहां पर तमाम तरह की जो गतिरोध